Hello, I'm James Harvey, the professor of music theory at the College of Southern Nevada with 5-Minute Music Theory. Once again, this is a video which is going to cover the fifth and final type of seventh chord. Not that exists, but that exists in tonal music, really. And that's what's known as the half-diminished seventh chord. This chord has a lot of different names, half-diminished seventh being one of them. That's the title that I'll usually use, is half-diminished seventh. And what it is a diminished triad with a minor seventh. So half the chord is diminished, hence the name. Now, the half-diminished seventh chord has some other names, like I said, but I'm not going to introduce those until after we've seen its construction. Let's start with a C, just as we have for all of the others. And just like we had in the diminished seventh chord, we're going to build a C diminished triad. So we have a diminished triad. And then the only difference between a diminished seventh chord and a half-diminished seventh chord is the distance from the root to the seventh. In the half-diminished seventh chord, the distance is a minor seventh from here to here, when it was diminished seventh in the fully diminished. So here's what the C half-diminished seventh sounds like. Whoops, I have it set to mark, not to play. There's our diminished triad, and then that's our seventh. Like that. And this does exist in a couple of places diatonically. It's the leading tone, it's actually built from the seventh scale degree. We haven't covered leading tones yet, but it does exist in two different places in different keys. So again, just to quickly summarize, the half-diminished seventh is a diminished triad with a minor seventh. It's also known as the minor seventh flat 5. So if we build that, I just got rid of it, but I'm going to write it again. So I put here on the staff a C minor seventh, C, E flat, G, B flat. So this right now is a minor seventh. If I take the fifth, which is the G, and I put a flat in front of it or take it down by a half step, it turns into a C minor 7 flat 5. So some people refer to half-diminished seventh chords as a minor 7 flat 5. So if you ever hear that, then that's where that comes from. But in these videos, and a lot of other theory professors will do the same thing, they'll talk about them as half-diminished sevenths instead, and that's what I will do. And I promise I'm going to refer to them as those from here on out. So just again, quickly, a half-diminished seventh is called a half-diminished seventh because the half, which is diminished, is the seventh. It's a diminished triad and a minor seventh, half-diminished seventh. Thanks.